Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes was reportedly ready to leave Old Trafford this summer before Ineos offered him a bumper new contract to stay. At the end of last season, speculation was growing as to whether United would look to cash in on Fernandes to try and fund improvements in the summer transfer window. Despite his initial deal expiring in 2026, there was an acceptance that the Portuguese would like to see his salary increased to match the top earners at the club, like Marcus Rashford. In an interview with Players Tribune, Fernandes added that United's lack of success may also cause him to reluctantly look elsewhere. "I don't want to leave. This has always been my ultimate dream," he explained. "I just want my expectations to fit with the expectations of the club. If you go talk to any fan, they will tell you the same thing. We want to compete for the league. We want to be playing Champions League football. We want to be in cup finals. That is the standard." Now, a new report from ESPN claims that United and Fernandes were perhaps closer to parting ways than it initially seemed. According to two of their sources, the Portuguese midfielder was ready to leave the club this past summer, but Ineos' decision to award him the bumper pay packet changed his mind. In August, Fernandes added a further year to his deal at Old Trafford, with his new contract set to expire in 2027. Speaking after signing his new deal, the midfielder said, "From my discussions with the football leadership and manager, it is clear how determined everyone is to fight for major trophies in the years ahead. I can see how positive the future is going to be, and I am relishing leading this team forward." Hey Reds, welcome back again. Manchester United fans are eagerly anticipating the club's upcoming Premier League clash against Brentford at Old Trafford, with hopes high that the game could mark a turning point in a disappointing season so far. Under the weight of intense scrutiny, manager Erik Ten Hag finds himself in a precarious position as he seeks to turn around United's worst-ever start to a Premier League campaign. The pressure has been mounting on the Dutchman as results have not met expectations, leaving the Reds languishing in 14th place, far from the title-challenging heights the club and fans aspire to. Throughout the international break, speculation about Ten Hag's future was rampant, with media reports suggesting that the United hierarchy might be considering other managerial options. Among these was the rumored interest in figures such as Thomas Frank and Zinedine Zidane, both renowned for their tactical acumen. However, Ten Hag dismissed the rumors as fairy tales, reinforcing the club's commitment to the long-term project under his leadership. While he acknowledged the need for immediate improvement in results, Ten Hag's focus remains firmly on the larger goal of rebuilding Manchester United into a dominant force, both domestically and internationally. Today's clash with Brentford presents an opportunity for the Reds to make a statement and get their Premier League campaign back on track. A victory would alleviate some of the pressure on Ten Hag and restore belief within the squad and fan base that the team can still salvage the season. The significance of the match is underscored by the anticipation around the potential lineup, with three players hinting at their involvement through cryptic social media posts. On the eve of the game, United winger Antony, alongside teammates Alejandro Garnacho and Diogo Dalot, took to Instagram to share matchday graphics, a common practice among players who are set to feature prominently in an upcoming game. The posts served as a subtle yet clear indication that all three players are likely to be involved in the matchday squad. For Antony, in particular, his inclusion would be somewhat of a surprise, given the recent uncertainty surrounding his fitness and form. Antony, who joined Manchester United from Ajax in a highly publicized transfer, has endured a turbulent period both on and off the pitch. Despite flashes of brilliance, he has yet to fully realize his potential in the Premier League, with injury issues and personal challenges hindering his progress. However, his return to the squad could provide a much-needed boost to United's attack, adding creativity, pace, and flair on the right wing. Ten Hag has remained supportive of Antony throughout his struggles, and today's game against Brentford could be an ideal opportunity for the Brazilian to showcase his talents and repay the faith shown in him. Alejandro Garnacho, another player expected to feature, has continued to make waves at United with his dynamic performances. The young Argentine winger has quickly established himself as one of the most exciting prospects at the club, known for his fearless dribbling and ability to change the course of a match with his direct attacking play. Despite being only 19 years old, Garnacho has already earned the trust of Ten Hag, who sees him as a key part of United's future. Garnacho's involvement in the Brentford game will be crucial, especially given United's recent struggles in front of goal. Meanwhile, Diogo Dalot has quietly become a mainstay in the United defense. The Portuguese fullback has impressed with his versatility, providing stability in defense while also contributing to the team's attacking play with his overlapping runs down the right flank. Dalot's inclusion in today's squad is expected, as he continues to be a dependable option for Ten Hag, especially with fellow fullback Aaron Wan-Bissaka currently sidelined due to injury. As the players prepare for the Brentford clash, the atmosphere at Old Trafford will undoubtedly be tense. United fans, passionate and vocal as ever, will be hoping for a much-needed win to ease the mounting anxiety surrounding their team's performance. Brentford, under the guidance of Thomas Frank, will not be pushovers, and their own ambitions of climbing the Premier League table add an extra layer of difficulty to the fixture. The Bees have shown they can compete with the top teams, and United will need to be at their best to secure a positive result. For Erik Ten Hag, the stakes couldn't be higher. While he has been given assurances that his job is safe for now, a continuation of poor form could see the narrative shift once again. The Dutchman's tactical decisions, including his selection for today's match, will be scrutinized closely, with fans and pundits alike eager to see if he can inspire a turnaround in fortunes. Despite the difficulties, Ten Hag remains resolute in his belief that Manchester United is on the right path. His vision for the team is centered around a balanced, high-pressing style of football that blends defensive solidity with attacking flair. In order to realize this vision, he has emphasized the importance of unity within the squad and the need for players to execute the tactical plan on the pitch. The return of Antony, Garnacho, and Dalot offers a glimpse of hope that United can regain their attacking rhythm and start scoring goals again. With key injuries to players like Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia, the team's defensive options remain limited. But Ten Hag will be encouraged by the fitness of players like Nocer Mazraoui and Manuel Ugarte, who have both recovered from minor injuries and are available for selection. Ultimately, today's match against Brentford could serve as a turning point in United's season. A convincing win would not only lift the mood at Old Trafford, but also provide Ten Hag with the breathing space needed to continue his rebuilding project. Conversely, another poor result could amplify calls for change, both on the pitch and in the dugout. The future of Manchester United, for now, remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the journey under Erik Ten Hag is far from over. Whether it will be one of triumph or frustration remains to be seen, and the outcome of today's game could offer a crucial insight into the direction the club is heading. The shadow of Zinedine Zidane continues to loom over Erik Ten Hag. The issue of who should be the next manager of Manchester United remains one which will continue to be discussed unless results improve dramatically. Ten Hag's future as United boss has been the subject of intense speculation over recent months. The Reds have just 8 points from their first 7 fixtures in the Premier League and go into the weekend in 14th place in the top-flight standings. Rumors increased on Ten Hag's future following 3-0 home defeats at the hands of Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur last month. There was intense speculation that the Dutchman could be sacked during the international break, but Ten Hag remains in charge, heading into Saturday's Premier League clash against Brentford at Old Trafford. It's further support from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos for the 52-year-old, who was handed a contract extension in the summer. However, in a fresh survey this week ran by Men's Sport, only 11% of supporters felt he should remain in the hot seat. In contrast, Zidane received 30% of the vote, receiving almost 3 times the amount of votes as Ten Hag. The Frenchman has been out of work since leaving Real Madrid in 2021 and has been heavily linked with taking the United job ever since his exit from the Santiago Bernabeu. Whether or not the legendary former midfielder is the right man for the job is up for debate. A sensational player who won the World Cup with France, he then picked up multiple Champions Leagues as manager of Madrid. But while his laissez-faire leadership style worked with the Galacticos, the issues at United run deeper. A dressing room short on confidence and, in certain parts, ability would present a different challenge. Zidane, it must be said, has shown no desire to move to the Premier League. 3 years out of the game indicates he isn't interested in moving to England, and it is well reported that he doesn't speak the language. On top of that, the decision-makers at Ineos are also showing no signs of trying to entice him to Old Trafford. That hasn't stopped men readers identifying Zidane as the man they feel can reawaken the slumbering giant. It would be an exciting appointment, but the uncomfortable truth is that should Ten Hag leave, there will be other managers higher on the shortlist. Thomas Tuchel was the one that United eyed closely, holding talks with him in the summer and then again identifying him as the best solution until England came calling. Men's Sport also asked United fans if they missed a trick by not appointing Tuchel before he was confirmed as the new Three Lions boss. With 55% of the vote, the majority of supporters believe United were right not to hire Tuchel as a replacement for Ten Hag. Sporting Lisbon boss Ruben Amorim is second with 14% of the vote. Amorim was linked with taking the job at Liverpool, Chelsea, and West Ham in the summer but has remained in Portugal, and reports in recent days have even suggested he could be a successor to Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. United assistant Ruud van Nistelrooy is next in the vote with 12%, while Brentford manager Thomas Frank received 10% of the vote. Frank, who has seen his odds come in on taking over at Old Trafford, will be in the opposite dugout to Ten Hag on Saturday.